Hey guys, just posting that I'm going live real quick. Hey, just a second. Also need time to let people roll in. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Okay, let's see how stuff is going. Hey you guys. Music, Cactus, Canth, hi guys. I've been very not okay. Give it just a couple more minutes here. I have no idea how many people are actually going to come in here for this. I mean, it's just a live update. It's not like actual streaming stuff. Like, where do you even fucking begin, right? So you may have noticed that I've been disappeared since like mid-March, just after my birthday. I did a few housing streams and I dipped. Raika, aka Alex, just disappeared. It wasn't unusual because he's done it before because of work obligations and stress related to work and just being overwhelmed with things and blah blah blah. And I had been basically trained to not worry, he'll be back. Right. Well, Wednesday last week, I logged into Final Fantasy XIV to see that he had left our free company and transferred off server. He had ghosted me for a month before that. He didn't respond to any texts, any Discord messages, anything. There wasn't even a sign of life on Twitter. Like, it wasn't even showing him liking stuff. So my initial reaction was he was hacked. So I reached out to like everybody, of course. If he's not working and logging in, like maybe he got hacked. If he's not logging in, he won't know. So small freak out, messaging people, and then I'm like, but if it was an emergency, he would always respond to me. But he hadn't even been responding when I did say it was urgent over the last few weeks, too. So then I was worried that he was just gone, right? There were no fights. There were no issues, no anything beyond planning our next steps. Planning even, he was supposed to show up the weekend after my birthday. to do stuff with me, and I didn't even hear from him. He had been planning to come out here in March, then he got into a car accident in his car. Then he had to have dental work. He was complaining about his wisdom teeth while he was here, so I expected dental work. I offered to go out there to help him recover. He's like, "Oh no, it shouldn't be a big deal. I'll be back at work tomorrow." I'm like, It's going to be a big deal." And of course, it was a big deal, so I didn't hear from him for a while. When I reached out to him over the weekend after the surgery, he was like, "Oh, I'm just kind of coming in and out of consciousness. Can't really handle anything right now," kind of thing. And everything's like in this loop of stuff that's slowly driving me insane, kind of a response. So I'm like, "Sorry for bothering you." Like, I didn't want to be the cause to fucking trigger him, but it's not like I'm reaching out harping or anything. I'm like, "Message received." So eventually came back and I helped him with his pain medication. I'm like, "Start taking half," because it was apparently the meds that were just knocking him out, and meds will do that. And he was better, and then he was more responsive, and we were doing stuff normally, and like back to planning and playing games and stuff. And that was through the week of my birthday. That's when I found out, of course, not too long before, that he wouldn't be out here for my birthday, just because work had, of course, backed up due to his surgery, and he was instead planning to come out here in May. And I was fine with that. Like, his birthday's in May, so I was starting to plan birthday stuff, and I'm like, "We can't celebrate my birthday together. We can celebrate your birthday together. Like, what kind of cake do you want? Like, we'll just celebrate our birthdays," because he said he got me a gift, and like he would be here, so we could actually do like a cake celebration thing too. So we were planning on that, and of course he was, saying like, "No, I have to work to buy a house when I come out," because his contract was supposed to be up in June at the place he's currently working at. So like, I understand work is important, and I didn't even know if he would be able to come out in May, because he started saying like, "Yeah, that's the plan for now." And I'm like, "Okay." But I'm not going to get between a guy and his paycheck. Like, I know it's just waiting. And I was just telling myself it won't always be like this. But when he transferred off server, I guess he decided that we're done. And he decided to not tell me that we're done, or give me any reason, or respond to anything, or anything. There was nothing. There was no problem. Like, I can't tell you how easily we have gotten along over the last year, because even though there were inconsistencies in his stories, I'm like, "That seems odd, but it's not a big deal. It's fine." Like, people can elaborate and things like, "How bad was the car accident?" Like, "Are you okay? Um, why did you wait so long to tell me?" Because it had happened like that afternoon, and he told me like 11 o'clock at night his time, and little things like that. But more inconsistencies around like work and certain events and things, and I'll get into that, of course. Um, but I had no answers. I was freaking the fuck out, because how do you go from something where you have an actual relationship? The entire time he made it clear, like, "No, this is an actual thing. I don't normally get along well with people like this at all. Like, this is a thing that I want to keep. This isn't just playing a game together. This isn't just hanging out. This isn't just COVID shit. It's an actual connection." Like, we spent the entire year building on that and planning on when we could get together, and like, just making sure that our life plans were aligned. Like, I'm the flexible person, and he had like steady plans and finance and things that he wanted to do. And I'm like, I don't care where we live. Like, if you want to live with me, just tell me where we need to go to make that happen for your job, because my job can work remote easily, and we have offices all over the place. Like, doesn't fucking matter. So, like, all that stuff was aligned and it was fine. I'm not sitting here making demands about like income or kids or marriage or anything. It's just like, we get along. This is great. Let's keep this going. And he was on the same track with me, I thought, because he kept saying the same thing. He came out here for 2 weeks. He extended to a month because there was an issue with his flight, but he still extended to a full month instead of just trying to get on the next flight out, because he enjoyed his time with me, apparently. There, again, were no problems. We got along perfectly. And again, that's unusual for him. He was commenting the whole time that it's not like that with him and anyone. And like, all the things we did together, there was no indication that he would ever even consider leaving. Like, we would go for walks on the streets out here at night. I found a safe neighborhood that is like just across the street, and he would always make an effort to like make sure I was on the inside and he was closest to the street, and he would hold my hand and things the entire time. And I'm like, yeah, see, it's a really nice neighborhood to walk in at night. And he's like, yeah, but you only walk here with me at night. Like, don't come here by yourself, kind of thing. And even folding laundry, like, I noticed he started folding laundry without me because I had been doing it, but I had a migraine that day, and he just started doing laundry. And I'm like, no, 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 I'll get it. I'm fine now. And he's like, no, you can do it with me. Get used to doing laundry together, because we're going to be doing it together from now on. People on their last days of a trip don't just say these things to say these things, right? It's not like I'm asking questions that demand answers or anything. These were things that he was just telling me. He left a lot of cooking supplies, sauces he made, um, shells that we had collected on the beach together. He took one home. He arranged and left the rest on the kitchen table. He left a partial bottle of wine corked on the table. He left the wrapping paper and tags for the gifts that I gave him, including one piece of paper that he folded into a frog. It's a big frog. I have it right there, actually. We planted lemon seeds. More accurately, he planted lemon seeds. We went and stole a lemon out of someone's yard on one of our night walks. And he wanted to plant the seeds. That way we could have lemons at our house by starting them here. And he's like, I'm going to be checking on these until I'm back, and I'll help you transplant these when I'm out here again. I'm like, okay. Because it's been a long time since I've had to do anything plant related too. Why do that? He left personal items here. He left a shirt. He left a pair of shoes. He apparently had a hole in the boot, and it was raining here. So he's like, I'm just going to order a new pair of boots. So he left his other pair here since he only had smaller luggage anyway. He left an ear pick, like the Asian ear picks, on my bedside table on top of the scarf that he gave me. He left a drinking glass on the living room table, which we had been clearing all of our dishes and things, but he left like our last two glasses just there while I was getting ready, because we would always like just clear the table. Whoever was left would do it. he left his travel toothbrush in the shower, and he left the regular toothbrush because he was having difficulties with his travel, and so he left the regular toothbrush that I gave him in the spare bathroom. And I even told him when he got home, I'm like, oh, you left one of your shirts here. And he's like, maybe I meant to leave it there. And even before he left, he like used my hairbrush. I was like, here, have a couple of my hairs in here. And you think it's like his intent to come back, right? Because why would you do that? It wasn't just like, oh, I don't have room for shoes, so yeah, I'll leave these here. It wasn't just that. It's the amount of personal items left actually everywhere. It was going to all of the places that I go to every day, holding my hand in the market that I went to every day the whole time we were in there. Like, making these things ours instead of just mine. And promising me that we would just be together after he could finally get out here, right? But I tried to have comfort in seeing the reminders. For that whole first month, I was going to the gym to keep busy because fortunately it just reopened. Like just before my birthday. So I told him, like, yeah, I'm working out again. Gotta get back in shape after all the food we were eating and stuff. And you can even see it, like, in my arms that I'm getting back. And he was all happy about that because we were working out together when he was here too. And of course, the week of my birthday, he, couldn't. I told him to hold on to what he got me and give it to me when he saw me. I didn't want him to just like mail to me. I wanted him to give it to me because it's more important that way. And he was showing me different plush animals on Amazon and stuff. And I linked him a crab that was in one of the related links that was so cute. And I was like, look, it's you. And he's like, now I have to get it for you because it's me. So he sent me the crab, and he kept, like, that week, of course, he's busy with work. We played the game and watched Bill Maher the night of my birthday. And then the next day, I think we played the game a bit. And that's when I started working on our house again. And he hopped on, and he was like also moving stuff around with me. I told you guys that on stream. And like, he logged out in the bed in the house. And then the next day was Friday, and that's when he had his stitches removed. So I messaged him, and I'm like, dentist day? And he was like, grabbed my stitches and ran off with them. And he was talking about how the dentist got on his case about eating too much solid food, and he had been telling me he had been eating Doritos and shit, and I got on him about it already. And I'm like, when I say soup, I mean soup. So it's not like I was giving him a hard time or anything, but it was a brief conversation. And he said, yeah, I know, I'm gonna pick up soup on the way home, but I'm heading home now. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm burning my house down with chongyang pepper because I was making spicy chicken to have with some vegetables. And I said, see you when home. And that was our last conversation. So what happened? You're all probably like, I don't get it. And that's exactly where I've been. When he left server, I ended up at the hospital for emergency mental health treatment. For those of you not aware, one of my exes died. I have severe loss and abandonment issues, and for him to just disappear, like, this was still me not knowing if he was hacked or if something happened to him medically, because he apparently had a blood clot in his lung earlier in the year, and he just had a car accident and dental surgery, and I'm like, fuck, what if something happened? So I'm like losing my mind, right? So I go to just get meds to make me get off the edge, because I was just fucking losing my mind, just crying, not knowing what the fuck is going on. So then one of his friends that I knew from in-game, I didn't know if they would reach back out to me again. I'm not going to name them. We had played briefly. Raika, Alex, had told me that he had a falling out with all the friends that we were playing with in game due to game drama, because they accused him of being toxic. And so he just like didn't play with them anymore, and he got kicked out of the group, and that was it. And that's apparently why we got kicked out of their server. So I didn't expect to hear anything. But I got a reply, and they were like, you need to call me when you're home, because it's going to be a lot to take in. I'm worried that what I'm thinking happened to you. So, of course, I, get my medication, inhale it, and go home. And I literally throw my stuff down and start dialing. And so, come to find out, he's a pathological liar. Literally everything that he had told me about himself, aside from like being a day trader, aside from being a CPA, is probably a lie. For example, I never said my age. He never said his age. However, his social media, his Twitter, said he was born in 1986. So I didn't perceive a problem, since I was born in 84. We're close in age. He's 24. This isn't a thing that would have been a thing, except for certain questions that I asked, like, oh yeah, I'm Year of the Rat. We're talking about this in context of game, because every year they have like different animals for the Lunar New Year celebration stuff, and I'm like, I'm sad that I missed the Year of the Rat. Which year are you? And he said Year of the Bun, which is 87, which is inconsistent with what is on Twitter. But I figured maybe he just uses a different year, that way he won't get hacked, or maybe just to age himself up to seem older than he is, because he looks younger. And he did seem younger than he said. So I'm like, it's probably fine. He's obviously not 16. This is not an underage situation. Like, I don't care. We get along. Like, there didn't seem to be huge generational differences, because we're into like the same media, same hobbies and everything. Like, who fucking cares, right? And it's not like he lied to me directly about it, but there were things I said, like, I forget how we got on the topic, but I was like, you're only a couple years younger than me, right? And he said, yeah, I'm like 3 years younger than you. And I said, yeah, I thought so. And it was just like an aside thing, You know, like, what opportunity to say, like, nah, I'm more than a couple years younger than you. Like, I would have given a shit, you know? It was a face-to-face conversation. So, to lie about that, I'm like, age, whatever. But looking back over everything, I was initially told by him that he never said where he was born with me, for one. He did say, however, that he's from Japan. He was in Fukuoka and went to high school in Tokyo. And from there, he worked as a host in cafes. And from there, he ended up getting involved in the mafia, the Yakuza, which is me going, you're elaborating. Because, like, who would believe? You know, like, okay, honey, I'll give you that. You know, like, I did not believe that storyline, so I didn't indulge it. And I was like, wow, that's kind of intense kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, that's why I started cooking, because I didn't want to get involved in that. You know, it would have been really easy to go that route, but I didn't want to do it. So I started learning how to cook, and I was cooking in a lot of restaurants in Japan, and that's why I ended up coming over here 8 years ago to cook. But I didn't have a green card, so I was having to hustle and do like dishwashing and things to work my way up. He went to school in New Jersey. I have no idea if he lived in Japan at all, because learning a language is an acquired skill, just like cooking is an acquired skill. Anybody can go on YouTube and fucking grind their ass off to pick up these skills, right? And it's not like I'm sitting here demanding a passport or a green card, or who cares? You know, this is like, eh, uh, who cares? Um, and yeah, it's like creating an image, but why go that far, right? I could see if you're just talking to a random stranger on the internet and you're elaborating, but by this point, we had already been deeper in a relationship, and like the context of the Yakuza came up because I asked him why his previous relationships ended, and he said, I move around too much. Okay. I asked him why, and he said, like, well, because sometimes people who are aware of my past will come after me. Yeah, this is about Raika. Um, and that's when he was explaining, like, yeah, there's a lot of bad things that I've done. And looking back on that, I could see, like, oh, I understand the parallels now. How many people have you fucked over, and why? Because apparently he's also lied about jobs at his jobs. He's lied about his jobs to other people. He's lied about himself at jobs. I don't actually know hardly anything about his history, and it blows my fucking mind because he got with maybe the one person in this world who is only looking for someone who they love and loves them back. Like, I love people for how they treat me and for the bond that we share together through our shared experiences. I don't care where you've been, what you've done, who you've been with. I don't care. I don't ask those questions. I don't need receipts on things. So he got with the one person who would never ask those questions or care. Treated me amazingly this entire time, okay? Except for his disappearances. every time that he disappeared for days, weeks, for work. One time in July, he disappeared for 3 weeks, just gone. Like, no messages, no nothing, no sign of life. He comes back saying that he was remanded by the court because the SEC was investigating his work, like his employer. And like all the FAs and everybody were remanded and being subpoenaed and whatever. So there was this huge court thing, apparently. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, and I'm like, do you need legal aid? Because like we have legal assistance through Amazon, so I could have like contacted people. And it's like all of these things talking about like being in court and then suddenly like being stuck in New York because of the ongoing stuff. And I'm like, okay. But of course, I reach out to other friends who worked in law offices who defended these financial institutions. And he confirmed that, yeah, that can happen to FAs all the time. Like, it's just a process, it'll shake out. Don't worry about it. So I'm like trying to be calm and things. And like dealing with it, right? Not blowing up at him, nothing. And he would still remain in contact. Like, it would just be short periods here and there that he would disappear. And never longer than like 4 or 5 days after that. It seemed like once a month he would disappear for at least a couple days, just for some average. Most of the time, yes, he was responding to every day, and we were in game almost every day, but mostly just like messaging on the side. He wasn't always in game, and I didn't expect him to play with me every day either. But still, the whole time talking about like all these plans, like planning to come out here. I was talking about things that we could do, and he came out here, and he's like, "Yeah, more spontaneous. You know, I'll figure it out when I get there." And even so, he was telling me, like, one weekend he had a family barbecue, and it was supposed to be a 2-day thing. And he told me that he was basically getting shit on, that he doesn't know what people expect of him, that he's a huge disappointment to everybody, so he just left, and he was too pissed to talk to me on Sunday. And talking to this friend, apparently it was a friend's barbecue, and he just elected to not go the second day. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but that seems to be a little too eerie of a coincidence. And, well, I mean, during quarantine and everything, like, I'm not there to know what's going on. I assume that if a family is having a get together, they would want to do it for a weekend because they haven't seen each other forever. You know, like, it's possible. Plausible. So, sorry, I keep looking at the clock. I have about an hour left. All this information just cleared everything up. Did not make me feel better. I don't think anything will make me feel better. I'm a fucking angered god at this point. I honestly thought this was the guy I would marry. Like, it was that level of not me saying things, not him pulling things from social media, just us having the same tone of humor, the same interests, the same lifestyle, the same goals, like everything in alignment, right? And he just disappeared. Because that, I am not a medical or healthcare professional. I am an individual who is highly experienced with psychology, critical theory, critical analysis, research. I was also pre-med, if that counts for fucking anything. I have also dealt with an individual with NPD. I have been through the ringer with people. And this guy is not a psychopath. There was actual enjoyment. There was actual laughter, actual sadness and anger. And generally, psychopaths have to forcefully emote things because they're unable to just naturally react to things. It actually takes a very hard study to be able to do that as a psychopath. He is a sociopath. This is someone who creates their own world, their own rules. Someone who treats people the way he knows they want to be treated. And then does whatever he wants with them. So, with all of this in mind, I want all of you who are at least present to think back to the shoes at the door. All of the cooking materials, the leftover snacks, the cooking supplies, the dishware left in the kitchen. The lemons that are still sprouted and growing on my kitchen table, the shells that he left carefully arranged on the dining table, the wrapping paper from the gifts that I gave him, including the labels for them, left on the table, and the frog that he folded and left on top. I want you to think about the shirt that he left on top of the stack of my clean clothes for me to put away. The ear pick that he used on himself and me, carefully displayed on the scarf that he gave me that was carefully folded next to my bed on my bedside table. The travel toothbrush that he left in my shower, and the regular toothbrush that he left on the sink in the bathroom, as well as the hairs that he left in my hairbrush. I want you to think about how he trained me to not be upset and to expect him back, knowing the entire time that I'm not okay being left alone, because I would repeatedly tell him, don't stay out of contact. If you need your space, that's fine. Just tell me when to expect you back and what's going on. It's fine. I won't constantly reach out to you. I would rather know not to reach out to you than piss you off because I don't know what's going on and I'm messaging you. I want you to think about him telling me about moving with me. I want you to think about the walks that I was supposed to do only with him. I want you to think about the grocery store that I now have to go to without him. That apparently has an Instacart option that I can use to get by for a while. I want you to think about the entire life that we built in a fucking video game, with the house that I mostly built for him that he helped me tweak to his liking. with the orchestrion that plays the music that he selected from his roles. I want you to think about the stream that we did together that he asked me to stream. I want you to think about him having me sit on his lap while we're in Ishgard looking at the future housing plots and picking out the ones that we were going to use for our free company that he wanted to make for us and build up before the expansion hits. That way we'll be able to buy housing. And he was looking at a medium plot for himself. So I was going to buy the mansion for the FC and he was going to buy a medium plot for personal space. And we picked those out together. I asked him if he wanted me to try to get a larger plot for us because I have the faster connection here, and he said, "Don't worry, I will be here." I want you to think about FanFest and the huge fucking hammer that I submitted with a note saying that I made it in celebration of Eden being our first savages that we ran together as a couple, and I made it to celebrate our relationship in the game. And how that comment is now going to be public for voting as soon as FanFest goes live, with his promise of being here during FanFest. I want you to think about him talking about moving here permanently and sharing a life with me, and why he would do that and disappear. There are some people out there who get enjoyment out of others' suffering because they know that they have them where they want them. Because it's not enough just to be happy, right? It's not like I was asking for anything. It's not like I did anything wrong. I know I didn't do anything wrong. You listen to that stream and everything was fine. It's still up. I'm not deleting it either. I found out where he transferred in game. Hilariously, it's on the same data center as my alt where I built the house for Salty. I found out his new FC. I went and I told them what he does, what he is, what he did to me, what he has potential to do, why he potentially targeted me. Because I'm a cosplayer. I'm also alone. I didn't mention I'm a streamer and work at Twitch. This FC, their names I recognize, and I'm pretty sure they're streamers. I'm pretty sure one is a cosplayer. I would be very happy to dox right now. So if you want that information, please hit me up later, but I'm not going to publicly disclose anything that could get me into any potential legal trouble, because who fucking knows what a psychopath would just decide to do, right? Of course. The FC is like, well, if he was with you for a year, it sounds like he gave it a shot. Yeah, but he didn't take any money from you, right? Like, oh, was he a catfish? Like, that's the only damage you could do to somebody? You can only do financial damage to somebody? I told him he's a pathological liar. I told them that he's a danger to anyone that they would have within the free company, and to just keep an eye on him. Even if they don't believe me, something could happen, to pay attention to who he is around. And to just be careful. And they're like, yeah, well, what damage can he do? And I'm like, I guess we'll see. And I left. But I went back later that night, when I knew he would be off work, for all intents and purposes, because who knows if he even goes to an office. He was online, and I whispered to him. A lot. He didn't respond to me. I sent him messages in very slow series. I didn't call him names. I didn't say fuck you. I was just, I don't understand why you would do this to me. And obviously, he wanted all of those messages. Which is why he didn't block me on Twitter. Which is why I'm apparently still not blocked on his cell. All the voicemails I left weren't auto-rejected. He wanted every single message. He wanted to see my suffering. He wanted to know that he was needed. So, last year, for his birthday, I sent him a package to his parents' house. Apparently, that is his parents' address. Apparently, he still lives with them. Because he told me he has an apartment in Midtown South. He lives in New Jersey. Is this guy an idiot? Does this guy not know how long a retired e-girl has been on the internet? How many questionable friends she has collected over the years? Does this guy not know the damage that can be done with a cell phone number and a physical address? Also a real name, because it did match his ID. And yeah, I highly recommend you go tell his parents. In fact, you may want to show them this stream. I'll make sure that it's archived. I'm actually considering sending his parents a letter. If you'd like to, like, casually drop me a first name to make it a little more discreet, I would appreciate that. But I certainly have receipts. I have photos of him in a house that he claimed to be his apartment. I think that would suffice to show that he was lying to me. But why would he do this? That's what I still don't know. Why would he do this? We met in a friend's stream, technically. And then I started playing Final Fantasy XIV in her free company, which he was in. And then we just started playing the game together because no one was fucking online. At the time, I had given up on dating because fuck it. Everybody's garbage, right? Like, I'd been through enough. I wasn't even looking for anything. And yet, he just started doing everything with me. And I went through some medical scares, and he was like, no, just message me. I'll be busy with work, but just message me when you're at the appointment. And was that his end? Was that getting me to rely on him? But why? He could have just lied for attention the entire time. Why come here? Why come here? Why stay longer? Why make plans to come here again? Why string me along for a month after being here? Why ghost me for weeks before actually disappearing? Why? So, where I'm at, I am taking Zoloft daily. I have almost gone through this entire bottle of Ativan, or Azepam. This is just below Xanax, in under a week. It doesn't fucking help me sleep. I was already dealing with insomnia after he left. Literally the day after he left, I was unable to sleep again because I only felt at ease with him around. My eating has been erratic. My sleep has been garbage. My health has been fucked. I have had heart problems. I already have issues with tachycardia from anxiety. It's diagnosed. They were exacerbated from him leaving and disappearing before he had actually disappeared, just when he was having the dental shit. When I found out that I was in line for my first COVID vaccine, I was terrified because I know how much stress that is on the body. And I was reading up and I'm like, wow, it's affecting people's hearts when they have tachycardia. What's going to happen to me? I'm here alone and you're not responding. I'm like, I'm terrified. Do I have to go through this alone? Why am I alone? No response. I got my second vaccine the day that he transferred off server. My heart was fucked, which is also why I went to the hospital in case I just fucking died. But yeah, and Adahira, I don't understand. Like, if it was solely him worried about me finding out, like, he still lives at home, my going there was always on the table, but I wasn't insisting. It was an offer, and he said that he would just come here. Like, I don't understand. And he came here before I was vaccinated at all. And yeah, fucking second vaccine. I haven't had any of the actual vaccine side effects, I don't think, aside from the fact that I was throwing up, screaming, crying, having major migraines, not eating for 4 days. Who knows? I don't know if that was the vaccine. Don't fucking know. I don't get it. Like, he knew I accepted him for him, not for a picture he painted. It was how we got along. And So now what? That was a year of my life. Like, you think you found the one that also thinks you're the one, apparently? Tells me he loves me at the airport when he's leaving? I am 37 years old. I would like to get married. I would like to find someone to share a life with. Someone who's not just out there to abuse me. Since this is now, like, can I even fucking count how many there have been now? So now I'm like, today I signed up for fucking Bumble. Because I'm not gonna get on Tinder, because you could say you want a relationship on Tinder, but everybody just wants to, like, fucking chuck you. So I'm on fucking Bumble, running into, oh, there's my narcissistic ex who tried to force me to be in a polyamorous relationship. Oh, yeah. Swipe right just because fuck you, I want you to see that I see you. Like, now I'm on these apps looking for a replacement him. What he should have been to me. Like, I'm not even giving fuckers a chance. Like, I'm not going based on, like, muscles and shit. I have a fucking Bumble date in 30 minutes. Doing my first video call in 30 minutes. I literally started today. I'm already talking with this dude who's, like, up towards Santa Monica, by the way. There's another guy who's a guitarist from Tokyo. Like, oh, the timeline from bad things to Bumble date. Well, considering that I've been suffering over the last 2 months total of his basic absence and then, like, actual absence, Wednesday was absolutely a fucking shock, but I've been tormenting myself over this for the last month and a half, really. Kept playing WoW. Start lying and confess when things get real. And ghosting is their only way out. Yeah. Like, I know it's not too uncommon, but it's like, why? Why, when it's like, is this just a game or is this an actual thing? Like, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard, to be honest? So now it's starting from scratch. I've never done the dating thing. And this is the whole thing. Like, I've never had to. It's always just been people that I meet, like, in social circles and through games and things. And I'm like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Because there are so many predatory people. And I'm not talking about you guys, because none of you have fucking done anything to me. But, and you know, Nine, it's not like go out dating. Like right now it is just chatting and seeing if there's like any relatable connection. And this one like seems all right so far. Dude's a photographer, dude has like the kind of humor that you might get fired for. So like it's fine to keep this chatting thing going. But it's not like I'm going to jump into a long-term relationship with somebody that I don't know tomorrow. That isn't me anyway. I only date one person at a time anyway, and like the progression will be whatever it is as it goes with whoever it ends up being with. But I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck his problem is. I don't know if he thought like I was desperate and like that lonely or anything. Like I am full aware that I can't go for a walk from here to the store and not get hit on. Like, I have problems finding the right people, not problems with finding people. I honestly don't know why he would do this to me other than just because he needed entertainment. Yeah, exactly. Like he wants me to be constantly reminded of him. And yeah, I can't get rid of his stuff. I can't. You think I'm going to like trash those fucking lemon sprouts? No, I can't. I have seeds that he picked out that work sent us to plant that I now have to plant alone, but he picked out. But why? Like, why do that to somebody? Why do that to me? I told him all about fucking Blizzard and all the fucking gamers who work there who basically hate fuck their way across campus to get revenge on all the women who shit on them when they were younger because oh now they're in a position of power and they can do whatever they want, right? Yeah, all that shit that I had to dodge daily. I couldn't move to a new seat at that place without getting dudes to ask me out. Plural. Dudes. Every time. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't fucking understand it. Oh god, there's a lot of seeds in there. Just like eggplants and things. There's like 9 different types. I can't even remember. I don't want to open it until I want to deal with it. I'm sitting here looking at the wallpaper on my PC from our wedding when it was raining. Oh yeah, he didn't divorce me in game, by the way. Because he knows I'm not going to be able to trash the ring. Yeah, I don't know if he's seeing anyone else. I have no idea. Because, of course, early talks, you know, any hint of cheating is a no for him, too. But when you lie about everything, I'm debating sending it back to him next month for his birthday. I can't even burn things where I live. It's not a thing. The funny thing is, he didn't even know that I, like, collected his hair. This is gonna sound really fucked up, but just bear with me for a moment. Like, whenever I would, like, spot one of his hairs right after he left, I couldn't, like, throw it away or anything. So I just, like, started collecting them. So I still have a fucking bag that's a hair collection because I'm like, what do? Should I send him his hair just to fuck him up a bit? Because I'm thinking that would be pretty fun. I think that would be great, honestly. I could just send him like one piece of his things at a time. And then like start sending him envelopes of his hair. I gave him a haircut while he was here for one thing. But up top he kept it longer. I showed him how to like put it in a bun proper and things. Also straightened his hair for Valentine's Day. And he was here for a month, so there was a lot of random fallout. And his hair's curly, so it would like stick on my socks and stuff, and then I would like find it on my light rugs, and I'm like, eh. Letting him back his hair would be pretty on point. Yeah. Here's the last glass that he used here. It actually still has, not sure if you guys can see, kind of. Still has his lip print right here. It's like CSI over here. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff left in the fridge. Sake that we didn't even open. Yeah, I actually asked one of my work buddies if he was up to an NYC office visit with me, because we could totally like ride off an Uber over to his house and have a picnic on his lawn. Yeah, what's most fucked up right now is like I can't even log into Final Fantasy 14 right now alone. Like, I've logged in a couple times with Cactus, and we were looking at plots for our fucking houses on server. And Adohira, if you want to see where we're moving, I'll show you. You should be our neighbor. It's northwest. I'm gonna take the mansion plot, and there's like 4 mediums right there too. We just need to pick a number and get there. Yeah, this is up on the hill, so even if there are Paisa houses, it won't block. It will not block. Still have a few more minutes. I don't know. Should I wear like this top for my video call, or should I change into a dress? I don't know. I did not get the creepy chick, and I haven't actually been playing. I just don't have the drive. I still made a mill the last time I logged in though, so fuck it. I had that worry too. I was like, is it just because I'm better at a game than someone again? I have legitimately had an FGC pro break up with me because I was better than him at Guilty Gear in front of his friends. So, like, this is a genuine concern for me since we've been savage raiding and I'm sitting here, like, hoarding all of the gold in the game in my fucking dragon dungeon and shit. And, like, whenever we do savages, like, once I learn, I learn. And every single time something gets fucked up, it's usually him. And like, even in our stream, you could see it. Like, I end up fucking up a couple times, sure, but it's from rig fatigue. And I had the genuine worry of, is it just because I'm better? Is he embarrassed? But it was never an issue, and it's not like I get on him. I shit on myself really hard whenever I do anything, even when I do anything right. I'm like, yeah, I got it that time because it was a fluke. But, like, Jesus Christ, guys. Cat. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the cat because I need the cat to go away for the call. Yes, I'm being smart and not giving out my phone number until after the first video call. Is that how we do it? Or is taking it off platform so soon like stranger danger? How do these things work? Tell me, Twitch. What is it like to date online in 2021? I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass. I'm tough bitch who bite fair in forest. Wouldn't take it off platform so quick. Alright. Yeah, I legitimately don't know. Yeah, I was gonna offer up Discord. But considering this is a photographer, not a gamer, I don't know if Discord is an option. I don't know what kick is. I'm not a thing. I don't use things. Yeah, compatibility test. Can you figure out Discord? WhatsApp without the phone number required. Is it possible to use WhatsApp? Because last time I used WhatsApp, it was like a year free and then you had to pay every year. I don't know if they changed that. Write your own Discord bot. No. It's totally free. Yeah, but also there's a part of me where it's like, if someone's super familiar with WhatsApp, I know it's used for cheating and things too, so... Kick is same as WhatsApp, but you just make an account. Yeah, I still think offering Discord is going to be the way to go. If dude can't do it, I'll be like... Oh god, so much message. Can I tell you guys, like, how tragic this is, by the way? I have been watching, like, 90 Day Fiancé, and the entire time I'm like, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with any of this shit. Like, people can be so crazy. I'm so happy I finally have someone normal. Wow, I can't believe these guys are getting married when they fucking hate each other. You know, like, if we ever do, we'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And then I've been watching, like, YouTubers, and one is suddenly going through her horny journey, and she's just trying to emulate other YouTubers, but she's not having any success with it. So she's, like, hyping up her Tinder dates, but her Tinder date was, like, literally making out in a car for 5 minutes with a dude who later blocked her. And, and the whole time watching her, I was like, wow, this is really tragic. I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of this shit. I'm too old to deal with this. And, wow, lo and behold, I didn't know that I was about to be dumped in the fucking dumpster to wade through all of the men to find something that hasn't rotten. Hey, I'll have to hop off here kind of soon. Yeah, Tinder, I don't understand. I didn't understand until I got Bumble, like, what swiping left and right even was. I'm like, is it the picture moves right, or thumb moves right, or, like, which? I don't... How do? That isn't me. If only I was a sociopath who knew how to do everything, because I was constantly conning people. I mean, at least I wasn't conned out of my life savings, right? We have that because I was willing to cash in a bunch of RSUs to help pay for a down on a house. Surprised he didn't take it that far. Yeah, Bumble dated a few. Tinder is a place to farm karma for Reddit. That is entirely accurate. I still have 16 Tindies in GME. I'm riding that bitch either to the moon or into the face of the sun. Yeah, GME is up. I'm going to be watching it next week. I may actually cash out my GME next week, depending on if it moons hard or not. If it goes over 300, I may just cash it out. Dog coin, I have 0 dog. But 1 dog always equals 1 dog, so I don't know why people are on the train about it. Diamond hands! I literally made the FC fucking stonks with the tag GME on Salty's server because I wanted Raika to join it with me to just manipulate the market on another fucking data center. Cat. She sounds so pathetic, but it's only because I have the door closed. She's like, you're talking to a thing that's not me, I want in. I call it dog coin, other people call it Doge coin. My understanding is the meme is Doge, but I call it dog coin. Yeah, it is Doge. I just hate it. I hate it. I purposely mispronounce it dog. Life is pain, friends. Life is pain. Sorry guys, just making sure everything's cool here. He is a VFX artist. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to make some fucking lemonade, eh? So yeah, guys, I'm super depressed. I am very tilted. I am trying to recover some sort of a life here. I want to stream stuff again. I can't play 14 alone right now. Everyone's telling me to demolish our house. I can't bring myself to do it. Not like actually demolish it, but like remodel it. And Salty, you missed everything. You're gonna have to VOD. But like I can't even redo the house. But I know Cactus is going to be on like normal day schedule soon, so maybe we could do content together. Arohira, like let me know if you want me to log in for stuff. I still haven't added you to Discord. I haven't actually been on my PC in a while. You can buy houses, you can't sell houses. But yeah, you can buy houses in 14. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to at least be numb enough to do some game content and stuff. Thank you. I'm terrified, mostly because the cat is screaming in the background, and that's not a very good first impression. That is someone who cages up animals. So, we'll see. I'm not happy. Like, I literally thought I had the one. I didn't care what he told me. I didn't care about his age. He just fucking threw me away. So yeah, if you're late for story time, the VOD should be immediately available after I end the broadcast. I will be saving this for posterity. Also in case it needs to be shown to his parents. So, Alexander Zhang, you fucked up. You know you fucked up. You fucked up.